Can you give me the 2-minute history of Dave Yost? Who are you? Where are you from? Give me your
Sure.
work background.
My dad drove a truck for Brink's Armored Car. One day they wanted him to take an involuntary transfer, and he didn't want to, so he went out and started his own armored car company, and almost starved to begin with. But 30 years later, when he was president and CEO in 4 cities with 140 or 150 employees, he still kept a uniform in the closet, and too many guys called off sick. He'd go get a set of keys, put on the uniform, and hit the streets. So I grew up one of 6 kids in that family, learned how to work hard and take a risk when you needed to and to be responsible. I have 3 kids of my own and 1 grandchild. Been married to the same woman for 30 years. And Ohio State undergrad in journalism, Capital Law School, 91, and currently the Delaware County Prosecuting Attorney. I've served as Delaware County Auditor and won the Certificate of Excellence for Financial Reporting from the GFOA. And that's kind of who I am. I was in private practice of law in my hometown before I was county auditor.
Where are you from?
Delaware, Ohio.
You're from Delaware. That's where you grew up?
I went to high school in Delaware.
Okay. You did your undergrad in journalism. What did you initially want to do with that?
I wanted to be Woodward and Bernstein. Change the world, make it a better place, more accountable. And actually, that's kind of been the theme of everything that I've done. My passion is for clean and accountable government. And whether it's been as a newspaper reporter or a county auditor or a prosecuting attorney, that's the goal that I've been working for.
Did you work for newspapers?
Yes, the Columbus Citizen Journal for 4 years, until it went out of business.
Why law school?
Well, as I mentioned, my newspaper went out of business. And I've always been fascinated by the law, and both working for former Mayor Buck Reinhardt and as a journalist, I noticed that a law degree was in a lot of ways a very good preparation to be able to make a difference, to be able to make decisions and make an impact. The law touches every area of our lives now, and knowing the rules of the road and how to read a statute and how to interpret case law is important for a decision maker.
You've held 2 public offices. What other government background do you have?
Well, I served 1 year on city council in Delaware.
Okay.
And
1 year?
1 year.
1 year. Okay.
95 to 96. And I also worked for Mayor Reinhardt. I ended up as his press secretary for 3 years. And I did a short tour of duty the Voinovich years in state government.
Why did you leave city council? Was that right before you became auditor?
No, it was 3 or 4 years before I became auditor. Kind of a quirky thing. An advisory opinion came down that said that it was conflict of interest for a lawyer to practice in municipal court and sit on city council. Well, I would have conflicted out my entire firm, and municipal court was an important part of our practice. So I decided to abandon my $4,000 a year job.
Were you elected to that post?
I was.
Okay. Why did you run for auditor? What prompted you to do that, county auditing?
The prior county auditor had been elected to the legislature, John Peterson, and I was encouraged to do so by a number of folks that felt that I could do well there, and I wanted to make a difference. The county auditor is kind of the hub of local government. Every office, the road leads through the auditor's office at some point or the other, and it's critical to have someone there with good executive capabilities and that can lead.
How different is the county auditor position compared to state auditor position? The different roles, right? Very different roles, or?
They're somewhat different roles. The county auditor is the chief fiscal officer. A lot of the financial reporting requirements for a county auditor involve the same skill sets and knowledge base as the state auditor. The key difference, of course, is that the state auditor actually conducts audits of of subdivisions, local subdivisions. Every school board, every county, every township gets audited by the auditor of state or an outside auditor that's doing the work of the auditor of state. Now, I'm familiar with that work because we got audited, and we, in Delaware County, when we had to work with the auditor of state, and the prior auditors of state have all had regional advisory councils and worked very closely with county auditors in developing policy and rules and standards.
What years did you serve as county auditor?
1999 through 2003.
And then did you become prosecutor right after that?
Yes.
Were you elected prosecutor or appointed?
I was appointed prosecutor. The prior prosecutor had been run for judge and was elected. So I was appointed for the last year of his term, and then I've been reelected twice.
You spent a long time, comparatively speaking or something, running for Attorney General. You sounded pretty passionate about that. How hard was it to switch?
Well, I'm passionate about the work of auditor of state. Clean government is what I'm about, and what I've worked for since the early days as an ink-stained wretch for the Citizen Journal. So it was a difficult decision from the sense that I didn't want to let people down who I'd spoken with, and unfortunately, no matter what decision I made, I was going to disappoint somebody. But I'm unfortunately accustomed to that because that's the nature of decision making. Any decision maker who tries to please everyone all the time will end up making poor decisions.